sequence the evolution is going on, and each phylum is having some characteristic features, some unique feature. For example, you have seen in the Ponyphelis, like there is spongiocele in the center, a large cavity is there, then choanocyte cells are there, then pinacoderm layer is there, as well as osculum and the ostia. Now as you move on to the Coelenterata, here you will find tissue level of organization, and this gastrovascular cavity is there, and metagenesis means polyp and the medusa phase is also there, and nematocyst cells are found in Coelenterata, which has the capability to paralyze the prey. Then in the Ctenophora you have seen bioluminescence characteristic, and you know that they are at the dead end of the food chain. You know why? Because they are not good predator as well as they are not good prey as well. So they are present at the dead end of the food chain, and that's the reason their species are quite less. Alright, and now move on to the next phylum, that is Platyhelminthes. So as you have seen in the Coelenterate, in the Ctenophora, that there are two layers, that is ectoderm and the endoderm. Now in the Platyhelminthes, first time you will find third layer as well, that is the mesoderm layer. Okay, so let's see. So here you will observe how colorful these animals are. Okay, so they are colorful as well as they are very dangerous as well. So as the name suggests, Platyhelminthes, platy means flat and helminths means worm. So here you will find flat worms. Alright, now see this picture. It is looking like a tape, and you know what it is? It is Taenia solium, also known as tapeworm, and you know that it causes a disease called taniasis. Okay, so this is very dangerous, and you know it is having two hosts in its life cycle. One is the human and the other one is the pig. Okay, and see this one, this is liver fluke, and you know that liver fluke is also known as Fasciola hepatica, and this liver fluke live in the bile duct of the liver of sheep and the goat. Okay, and it sucks the blood with the help of the sucker. So they are having sucker which help it to suck the blood, and this animal is also having two hosts. One is the sheep and the other one is the snail. So it causes a disease called liver rot. Okay, Taenia solium causes taniasis, whereas Fasciola hepatica causes liver rot, and it has the capability to completely break down the liver. Okay, it completely break down the liver. Then see these animals, how much complicated it is. You know that this is the male body, and inside you will see a slender like body is there. This is the female body. Okay, so they are the unisexual organism, but this female live inside the cavity of the male. Okay, and this is the animal known as cystosoma, also known as blood fluke. Okay, and this animal is found in the veins of the human bladder as well as the human intestine, and it causes a disease called schistosomiasis. Okay, so cystosoma causes a disease called schistosomiasis. Alright, Taenia solium causes taniasis, and this Fasciola hepatica causes liver fluke, and this is a plain area. Okay, so see how colorful they are, and they are very dangerous as well. Now move on to their see here, this is the real picture of the tapeworm, and see this is the mouth of the tapeworm, and not a proper mouth, and it is known as scolex. Okay, so its body is divided into three parts: the scolex upper part, then there is a neck region, and the rest body is known as strobili. Okay, so this is the strobili, which is divided into numerous segments known as proglottid. Okay, so these are the proglottids, and you know that these are not the true segments. These are not true segments, and these are the segments which are known as pseudometamerism. Okay, so they have the characteristic called pseudometamerism. So as you have seen as we have learned in the previous lesson when we are learning about basis of classification, as there we have seen that metamerism is the characteristic of annelids as well as the arthropods and the chordates, but in the tapeworm you will see pseudometamerism. Metamerism is different and pseudometamerism is different, so don't get confused here. And pseudometamerism is only seen in the tapeworm. Okay, so here the segments are external, not internal, whereas in the metamerism the segments are external as well as internal. All right, and and these segments are loosely bound and can be separated. So these segments can be separated and a new worm is formed. Okay, now observe the proglottid. So these are near the neck. You will find immature proglottid. There are three types of proglottid. Alright. So near the neck they are immature. Then at the posterior end you will find gravid proglottids, which contains capsule. Okay, and capsule contains an egg and another cell that is known as a gland, vitelline gland is present. So in the proglottid you will find egg as well as a yolk cell. That is a yolk cell, and I will tell you, don't be worry about it. And here in the center you will find mature proglottid. See the difference here, you will find quite longer cells, and in the mature cells you will find the cells are square in shape. Okay, and in the gravid proglottids you will find a capsule. Now see how dangerous it is. At the top you will find a hook and this sucker also. So with the help of the hook and the sucker, they get attached to the host body. With the help of the hook, they anchorage into the intestine, and with the help of the sucker, they create a vacuum to get attached to the host body. Alright, so that they will not move out from the body through the peristaltic movement. So this is very dangerous and it causes a disease called teniasis. Now move on to the general characteristic feature of this phylum. Most of the characteristics I have already explained you. So some are left. Let's see. Platy means flat and helminths means worm. So the study of platyhelminths is known as helminthology, and habit is mostly parasitic. Okay, and some are free living, which is found in seawater or in fresh water. And grade of organization, as you have seen, that they have organ system grade of organization. In the exam, in the MCQ type question, it might be written that which phylum is having the tissue organ system of organization. So you have to tick the platyhelminths only, because some tissues are there as well as organs also. So they have tissues organ system level of organization. Symmetry is bilateral. So if you cut it from one, they divide the body into two halves through one plane only. Okay, in it that there is a significance of bilateral symmetry. Due to this symmetry, there is a possibility of the anterior end and the posterior end. Means there is a possibility of cephalatization. Cephalatization, I told you that it is the formation of head. So from here only this head formation starts from the platyhelminths. Okay, so bilateral symmetry leads to cephalatization. Dorsoventrally flat. From the upper surface and from the lower surface, you have seen that they are dorsoventrally flat. Germ layers, 3 germ layers are there: ectoderm, endoderm and the mesoderm. But coelom is not there, because this mesoderm layer do not invaginate to form a cavity. So coelom is not there. So they are acoelomate animals. Digestive system is incomplete. Okay, one opening is there. And absent in some of the animals, like in Teniasolium, you will find digestive system is absent, because they have the capability to absorb the nutrients from the host body. So there is no need of the digestive system. Anus is absent. Alright, there is only one opening. Excretory system is there. So it contains flame cells, also known as protonephridia and solenocytes. Now let's see how they look. Observe this picture. This is a planaria, and here you will find flame cells. See a large view of the flame cells, and you will see these are the cilia, and it looks like a flame of a burning candles. So that's why they are known as flame cells. So flame cells are found in the phylum Platyhelminths. Okay, so these are the excretory organs. Now next one is their excretory material is mostly ammonia. When they are found in water, they excrete ammonia, and if they are found on the land, they excrete urea. But mostly the ammonia is the excretory material. Then about the respiration. Respiration is by simple diffusion of gases through their body surface, and in the parasites you will find anaerobic respiration is there. Okay, when circulatory system and skeletal system both are absent. Reproduction can be by asexual means or by sexual means. If it is taking place by asexual means, it can be by regeneration as well as the fission. I hope you know about them. Now, sexual reproduction is by the gametic fusion. in the hermaphrodite species. You know that hermaphrodite species are those in which both the sex organs are present in the same body. So both the type of fertilization can take place, cross as well as self. Then fertilization is internal, inside the body. Then egg is devoid of yolk. This is important characteristic of this phylum. As I had told you again and again, I am telling you whatever is written in green, please focus on that. That is important from the examination point of view. So egg is devoid of yolk, and here there is a separate gland, separate vitelline gland for the production of the yolk. Alright, let's see the vitelline gland as well. Sorry, in the next lecture I'll show you. Right now I'm not having that image. Okay, so they have a separate vitelline gland for the production of yolk. Now development is direct or indirect. Okay, if directly the offspring is formed, then we call it a direct development, and if the larva stage is there, then we call it a indirect development. Now life cycle is complex, involving one or more hosts. As we have seen in the Taenia, there are two hosts. One is the human and the other one is the pig. In the Taenia solium I am talking about. Alright, there are two hosts. Body is unsegmented in planaria and fasciola, whereas stabulated in Taenia. Okay, in the Taenia you have seen pseudo metamerism is there, so it is stabulated in the Taenia. Hooks and suckers are present in parasites. So in the parasitic form you will find hooks and suckers. Nervous system is ladder-like. See the nervous system. This is a nervous system, and you can see the brain is the starting of the brain is from the platyhelminthes only. So brain formation starts from here. Ganglions are present in the head type of region. Okay, and the nervous system is ladder-like. Right. Then epidermis is cellular or syncytial. Epidermis is important for you. This is important question. Epidermis cellular or syncytial, as well as frequently ciliated. Then a muscular layer is present between body wall and the gut wall. Observe this image. Here you will find circular muscles. This is the circular muscular layer, and below the circular muscle there are longitudinal muscle as well, and inside here you will find these are the parenchymal muscles. Okay, because they are present in the parenchyma tissues. These all are the parenchyma tissue. Whatever you see in the blue color, that is parenchyma tissue, where the organs are packed. Okay, and don't be confused with the parenchyma tissue which are present in the plants. So these are the parenchyma tissue which are present in platyhelminthes. Alright. Then we have no locomotory appendages in these organisms. Locomotory organs are absent. They move through their movement through their body. Organs are packed in a connective tissue, parenchyma, already told you. All the organs are packed in a connective tissue called the parenchyma. Pseudometamerism you will have seen in the Taenia, and they have well developed gonads. Now from here I will continue in the next lesson. So watch my next lesson as well.